this scene. Young Omni-Man, aka Nolan, was basically teaching a class to these kids about the history of Viltrum, and he decided to ask this little girl a question about the Great Purge. So she started.
See, here's the thing that I find so freaking funny as hell, and also sometimes just truly pisses me off every time I see any episode when they do this shit. Why they always be targeting the melon people? Hey, what's going on, YouTube, man? How y'all doing today, man? And today we're coming back in for some more CJ the Champ videos. So this right here is going to be an Invincible compilation of a lot of brutal beatdowns. Everybody knows when it comes down to the show Invincible, so there is no shortage of brutal beatdowns, absolute smackdowns, and just downright just brutalations, pretty much. And so this right here is basically going to be a compilation. So if CJ the Champ's videos such a Invincible beatdowns, like, I don't even know where to start really when it comes to it. There are so many when it comes down to this show that you might as well say this is literally one of the most brutalist shows when it comes down to deaths and just out of pocket, like, ayo moments sometimes, man. But as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, hype, and subscribe to the channel for brand new. And make sure you hit that post notification bell so you know every single time they're posting a video. And also comment down below exactly what you guys thoughts about the video and such. Give it a thumbs up, give it a heart if need be. So just to show you guys the support and such within the video. We're working on trying to get to our first 1,000 or so for this year for 2026 and such, and then moving on to bigger and higher things and so on, going on to 2027 and above. And so hey, without further long, let's get down to the video.
So it has come to my attention that has had some pretty brutal beatdowns recently. Like, I'm talking blood all over the screen and guts literally getting dug out of. So since we are basically at the halfway point of this season and at the halfway point to the first trial of the crispiest Viltrumite in the galaxy, today we're going to go through some of these brutal beatdowns that have basically broke the internet. So without further ado,
here we go.
Alright, so the first ass whooping we're going to be breaking down is young Omni-Man getting jumped by his parents.
Crazy
now, this
word.
right here basically confirmed to everyone, if you didn't think so already, that being born a Viltrumite is probably the worst fate you could ever ask for. Because this is without a doubt one of the crazy societies of all time. Like, we already knew that these crazy ass niggas had a whole great purge and half of their population was wiped out because of it. But now, we learned that the kids weren't even safe. And to become a fully grown adult, you had to survive getting jumped by your parents. Now, let's take a look at this scene. Young Omni-Man, aka Nolan, was basically teaching a class to these kids about the history of Viltrum, and he decided to ask this little girl a question about the Great Purge. So she started.
See, here's the thing that I find so freaking funny as hell, and also sometimes just truly pisses me off every time I see any episode when they do this shit. Why they always be targeting the melon people? Why? It never be any of these other ones and such. It always be the melon. Like, seriously, it's like the creator has an agenda when every time they do that. Every time this happens, I'll be looking like, I say, here we go again. Another melon person so getting targeted for some bullshit. Like, come on now, give us a fucking break.
Stuttering and didn't know what to say. So this man, Nolan, walked up to her and put his hand on her head and said, "Think wisely about your answer, little nigga. You know what happened when you get what question wrong, right?" And he was dead ass about to crush her head into smithereens. And you would think that the other kids would be scared for her, but no. They were side-eyeing the hell out of her like, "You best not get that question wrong, bitch, or you're going split that." So thank God she locked in and got the question right. But then I ain't gonna lie, this is the craziest part. Before he dismissed class, he told them, "Go find food and shelter if you can, and return here at sunrise ready for combat." Oh, and I almost forgot. At least 2 of you little niggas will die tomorrow. Well, you best come locked in, or it's your ass. And then they just going with it like, "Sir, yes, sir." Like, dog, this is without a doubt the worst society to ever be born in. They don't even provide their own kids with food and a bed. They gotta find it themselves. The Viltrumites really said, we don't do that weak-ass child support shit. The child can support themselves. So right after Nolan was done teaching this class, both of his parents pulled up on him and straight up looked at him like, yeah, you know what today is, young blood? It's your birthday, aka initiation day, little nigga. So they full-on bum rush Nolan and start beating the shit out of him. And bro, you could easily tell that out of both of the parents that this man's mama didn't have an ounce of love for him the way she was doing him. She straight up sliced him in the chest and rammed her knee into this man's face. And this wasn't even her nastiest shot. She basically charged up.
And see, it's a part two that I always find so crazy and so in some ways disappointing every time I look at the Invincible episode such is the fact that, yo, every time you know so much about the Viltrumites, the more and more you just be like, yo, these guys are absolutely brutal as hell. They're absolutely psycho. And the whole, like, they truly live by the survival of the fittest. The strong, the what's the term for it? Such I can't remember such, but the point of it though is that the stronger right, the weaker wrong. Point blank, period. And then, basically, physical submission is a thing because I'm pretty sure CJ gonna explain this all about the grandmama. Cause yeah, it did not. Yeah, it really makes you think the family tree situation is generally fucked up. Yeah.
This one punch all the way from the ground and put her whole body into it, making him cough up blood. Then while he was stunned and basically out of it, both his mom and his dad just start running his ass down. Nolan could not move. This nigga was stuck in a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Infinite Death combo.
Yup.
Then his dad grabbed his head and gave him just a nasty headbutt. And that headbutt ended up leading to a black eye and a broken nose. So while Nolan looked like he was already on half HP, the mama just stared at him and was like, nah, nigga, this ain't enough. And decided to crash in and piece him up some more. Now while Nolan was getting pieced up by his mama, he was finally able to fight back after having to stomp the ground and kick a stone into his mama's eye. Then giving her a well-deserved right hook for being a deadbeat mom. But I want y'all to watch the daddy. While the mom was flying back, the dad just slaps her to the side like a fly. These niggas don't even care about their spouses. They just think it's everyone that's just a sack of meat. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't even married. They probably just decided to have a baby to fill the quota and that's that.
Pretty much.
Rushes his dad down and rolls a fist into his hand and starts to choke him. And it looks like the dad was pleased and was ready to end his initiation. But the mama came back and threw him into the stairs. And right when this happened, I knew she was coming back to collect that receipt for her eye getting messed up and also taking out her anger for the daddy slapping her ass to the side. So she starts stomping his face in, and when she got tired of stomping him out, she just started grounding, pounding, and wailing on him. Like, look at this dude, bro. He is done. This fight should be over. He's clearly had enough. But the mom just continued to beat the ever-living crap out of him until the dad finally came over and told her, enough, shorty. He's had enough. And this is how you could tell that she really hated Nolan and his dad. Because after she beat the hell out of him, she straight up told them,
"You're as pathetic as he is. I hope to never see either of you again."
Not gonna lie, if I heard my old mother say this after she just finished stomping me out and beat me down to 1 HP on my birthday, I'm gonna be so rude, I might just end it all. Because I'd be sick to my damn stomach. Now I know why Nolan beat Mark's ass like that in season 1. Because if this was a parenting he was experiencing, then no wonder his parenting skills were ass. And this just reaffirmed to me again that being born a Viltrumite is in all honesty a fate worse than death. Brutality.
Yup.
Alright, now that...
Yeah, cause I don't really remember exactly how the whole Viltrumite mating thing goes though, but yeah, it just really goes into like I don't know if it's a blind date type of thing or whatever though, but pretty much for those of you guys who have seen the whole Anissa Mark situation, yeah, that situation is pretty much what happened with Nolan's parents and such, pretty much. And yeah, so her rage is some ways is justified, but at the same time, it's not no one's fault in that. But that's how she felt, so it is what it is.
Was our appetizer. Now it's time for the main event. The Conquest versus Mark rematch. Now this right here is without a doubt the most brutal fight we've seen yet. This fight actually had me so disgusted by the end of it that I had to look away. Because I made the horrible mistake of eating my dinner while watching this. And I will probably never eat watching Invincible ever again because
you should not have done that.
Soldier Conquest pulled back up to run the ones with Mark again. And you know, I gotta give a shout out to Cecil real quick for being the biggest dumbass of the century. Because we would not be getting this rematch if bro just did his job and disposed of the body like he should have. Like, you really thought this little ass cage was gonna hold this nigga? Like, holy shit, man. This is the most incompetent motherfucker in this damn series, bro. How did this guy get this job again? Like, honest question. Anyways, bro. So the first person to attack Conquest was the biggest liability on the team.
And my thing here is that his face was messed up when it all happened. How is that you fixed his face? His eyes still fucked up. His teeth still fucked up. You would think he would have at least fixed that shit to where he looked. He would still look. Maybe he would still have the scar, but he still would look different. Again, I don't know how their technology is when it comes down to trying to fix people's faces and all that stuff. But to me, it's kind of like, bruh, y'all just really just looking like, here, let's hit the reset button for him and such. And now you have fixed the problem and such though. But whatever.
So he flew up and immediately got a back.
See, I don't even know why he even did that.
Probably so hard it probably gave Oliver PTSD from when Conquest tripled him.
Exactly.
So Oliver tried to come in and hit him again with a barrage of fast punches, but all this was doing was giving Conquest a massage. Nigga was doing the same shit now Oreo was doing to Maki, just throwing pillows at him. So Conquest grabs Oliver by the head and tells him, "Oh, I remember you. You're the little purple squirt from before. Last I remembered, I was trying to rip your guts out. So let's continue from where we were last time, shall we?" So Conquest starts to crush Oliver's head, and he's about to pop his head like a balloon. But J. Jonah Jameson himself comes in to save his sorry-ass son from getting his head crushed. So Omni-Man and Conquest started to box for a bit. But this nigga Mark immediately flew in and said, "Hands off, Dad. This fate is mine's and mine's alone." So Conquest looked at Mark and said, "Hey kid, how's your girlfriend? She doing alright? Ooh, I can't wait to taste her fine ass blood one more time." So the moment Mark heard Conquest talking about Eve, he just straight up flew directly at him and started viciously putting hands on this old nigga. Then he started to rain down multiple 6 to 12 elbows right into this man's face. Now while they continued to box, Oliver was running out of air because he wasn't used to holding his breath in space yet. So he had to fly down to the planet that they were close to so he could re-up on some oxygen. So Conquest saw Oliver flying down and told Mark, "Oh no! We can't let little purple squirt miss all the fun now, can we?" So Conquest gives Mark a nasty blow to the gut, then flies down to the planet to chase down Oliver. And this is where we see one of the most diabolical "he's behind me, isn't he" frames of all time. Conquest pulled up right behind Oliver.
Nigga just teleported his shit.
Looking like he's about to swat the half cockroach out of Oliver's soul. But Mark comes in to save Oliver right before he gets chased down, blocked by Conquest. So Mark's grand plan was to basically choke the life out of Conquest. This nigga was not gonna let go of the chokehold he had him in for the rest of the fight. He was fully committed to choking his ass out. So since Mark wouldn't let go, Conquest just started giving Mark multiple body shots. Bro was taking about 50 punches to his liver and 50 punches to his kidneys, while they were just flying around the planet and ragdolling themselves into the environment. So when they ended up slamming into the ground, Mark had the top mount, and it looked like he was trying to crush Conquest's neck and drive his whole body into the ground. But then Conquest lifted Mark up and slammed him into the ground, reversing the whole situation. So Conquest started giving Mark more kidney shots and liver shots. Then he started decking him in the face and bouncing his skull off the ground. But Mark was still hanging onto Conquest's neck while taking this beating.
That's what I call giving a nigga a death grip. Pause. But still, like, that is commitment. I'm not gonna block. I'm gonna eat every last one of these shots, and I'm gonna focus all my time, energy, and strength to crushing your windpipe. I'm gonna make sure I take your last breath, nigga, and I'm gonna commit fully to this. Like I gotta give Mark credit. When he locks in and actually does what he need to do, he locks the hell in. Cause boy, for the longest time, man, that boy was on fraud watch for his name for some time now. It's not looking that much better, but at least he's doing better at trying.
Like I said earlier, this nigga Mark was committed to choking the life out of Conquest's old ass. So Conquest picked up Mark and rammed him into this mountain. And he started to wail on Mark, just swinging punches into him over and over again. And I ain't gonna lie, this next sequence of punches Conquest did gave me back pain while watching this. He hit him with this three-piece. And the last punch was so hard, it worked his back. This man's rib cage just got eviscerated, and he may never walk straight ever again because it looks like his spine just got snapped in half right here. So they kept on ramming each other into all the surrounding rocks and mountains. And when they finally stopped, you can actually see the damage that Mark has done to Conquest because his face was now discolored and his eyes were bloodshot red because he hasn't been able to breathe at all because of Mark's persistent ass chokehold. Now this is when the fight just got nasty as hell, and the brutality just ramped up to another degree. Conquest had his nasty ass hand all up in Mark's face. So Mark turned damn near feral and bit this man's thumb off. And then after he bit his thumb off, he stood Conquest up, and you get this shot from Conquest's POV. You see this nigga Mark straight up spit his thumb out while making eye contact with him the whole time.
Nasty
He didn't even say a word, but you could tell what he was thinking just by the look he was giving him. Just straight up, I hate you, nigga, let's die.
Yup.
Since Conquest was being pushed back, he had to use his ultimate move. The same one that sent Eve back to the lobby before she respawned. He rams his whole hand into Mark's body. Now this attack probably end about 99.9% of people if they were hit by this. But Mark, being the main character, empowering through this shit with the power plot armor, kept on choking Conquest. Pause and look at Conquest's face right now. This man is actually stunned. You can actually see a little bit of fear on his face, because he is now starting to realize that Mark actually got that dog in him. So Mark slams him down and continues to choke the life out of Conquest. Now we're at the moment where I had to stop eating my dinner while watching this, because this was the most disturbing and disgusting shit I think I've ever seen in an animated show. Conquest started to dig in this man's insides and rip out all of his internal organs and intestines. Now, I'm censoring the hell out of this because YouTube would eviscerate this video and send it to the shadow room if I actually showed this. Also, if you're eating while watching this, I'm saving your ass right now because you could have ended up like me. My appetite was cooked after this and I did not hit my protein goals that day. My gains were not achieved because of this shit. But this goes on for like a solid minute. Mark was just screaming in pain while Conquest was running out of air and trying to dig Mark's insides out. But finally, after what felt like ages, the lights finally go out for Conquest. And Mark slayed Satan's greatest soldier for a second time. Now I gotta stand up and give Mark his flowers here. Cause I won't lie, I give this man a hard time due to him getting his ass whooped and being left in critical condition in nearly 80 to 90% of his fights. But right here, I'll admit that Mark got that dog in him. Because this was his best performance yet, even though he's in critical condition again. But I just know one thing for sure. When they get back to Earth, Cecil's ass better be getting stomped out. Because you're not about to get away with this shit, nigga. Oh, no, bro. Brutality. And that, ladies and gentlemen, would be the end of our little brutal beatdown special. And if you are wondering, yes, this is the old series that I used to do on TikTok that I'm 9 times out of 10 probably gonna bring back. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoy, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I will see y'all again at the end of the month for the trial of the crispiest Viltrumite in the galaxy.
Alright, y'all, man. That was really, really good, bro. Woo-wee. Honestly, it could have been a longer video, so because there were a lot more like beat downs, or hell, he could have done beat downs and deaths or so in the video. So, but this right here was pretty good for what he had to do. So, as always, if you guys made it this far, you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. Hype the video up, and also comment down you guys' thoughts. So, and also, if there's any other videos you want me to react to next, feel free to put it down in the comment section down below. Let me know. But yeah, like I said, everybody knew that like the moment when Mark started like switching and doing the black and blue one, said there was gonna be where it was finally time for him to lock in. Him showcase that he got that dog and all sort of stuff. Now, in my opinion, was it gonna be in terms of where he was gonna actually start beating niggas' asses a little bit more? I was kind of iffy on it because you never really know as such though. But like I said before, I'm willing to give him grace. You know, for what it is, for what he's done so far, such a way, and then say, hey, he's trying. He locked in and he's trying his best. This is what we wanted from you, Mark, from the very beginning, man. This is what we wanted. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care, stay blessed. I'll see you guys out on my next video, y'all. Gang, gang.